Hey, Honc.
Good morning
Good
or good
afternoon.
afternoon. How are you today?
I'm okay. Trying to think. It's like a gray day, and it's felt like a gray day, if that makes sense. Just kind of like,
Yes. Yeah, here also starting gray, I would say, on my side of things. So let's hope that this day here on this end doesn't stay gray.
well, it can't be gray when you're talking about agents.
Yes. Well, I mean, I feel it could stay gray if you have an agent and you don't know what your agent is doing, right?
Oh, even better segue.
I mean, if you think of it, you have an agent that does a bunch of things on its own, like calling its tools and whatever. Maybe sometimes you want to know what is thinking or what's going on, like behind the scene. And yeah, we talked about the Cloudflare AI agent already, like the SDK that was released. I think that's episode 9, where you walked me through the whole repo of explaining me all the things. And it's a kind of large code base, but we have something exciting to share, I would say, right?
Yeah, I also love that you can reference specific episode numbers. Uh,
I I looked that up for this one, so I was like, okay, this should be on episode. That was episode 9. Like we are 5 episodes later, but we've been working on the idea to look behind the scenes of your agent, and I think that's quite cool. Um, should we jump into it straight away?
oh, we're gonna jump. Yep, like
Um,
a nice pond.
and yes, you see the screen, right?
I see the screen. It's us.
That's us. And this is the app, and we can share the repo maybe as well. We used for a hack night here at GitHub in the GitHub office in San Francisco. That might be nice if you want to get familiar with agents yourself. There is a README if I can find it. See, the code base is big, and I maybe there it is. Where we extend this Cloudflare agent a little bit. There is a little bit more into this. But you can run this quite easily. The agent can send emails if you include a recent API key. And it also gives you some idea how you can add a tool yourself, and you can play a little bit around with it. I think it's a nice getting starting point. But let's see if we can. Oh, no, that was not my plan. Sorry, I wanted to open the terminal, but missed the key cut for it. Okay. Let's see. It's yeah. I should call my own README. It's dark. That one dev. Nice. Yeah, and this is also in our repo. This happens sometimes, and you just have to start again, I think, if this error occurs. Or is that a new one? I don't know. I would say let's just start again.
Let's see here. And you've installed the pack. Yeah, okay.
I can do an install again, but well, maybe you're right, but it should have been.
Yeah, I don't think it's related to dependencies. We'll make sure. Come on, beat. Oh, it's slow. Do you want to go into that server.ts? Did you modify anything for the hack night?
No, not that I know. And it was running at the hack night. Server TS, where are you? Here you are.
Okay, look for any exports. Okay, next. Wait, so yeah, we have export class chat extends AI chat agent. Huh. Source TS does not export a chat entry point. Okay. Any? I do see some red, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, some problems. How about that's a type thing, I guess. But that might be the one, right? Private type chat.
Yeah, it might be. And if you go to the top of the file,
maybe this comes from, oh no, that's the host top. We do get observed here. Did we have some changes recently in our stuff? Because this is like a week old.
It's a week old.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe has something changed in our library because it comes from us?
Could be. I had not seen this repo yet. Have you pulled the latest changes?
From this repo?
Yeah.
No, but I don't know if someone updated it. So let's do that then. Aha.
Okay. You might want to npm I real quick. I don't know if we modified the. Okay. And
yeah, something, but there's still more problems coming in.
Yeah, that could be.
But new problems.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think this is all TypeScript related, and it appears to be related to the fact that they're probably the Cloudflare types are not included.
I just start again.
Yeah. Oh, that looks a lot better.
Oh yeah, okay, good. See, if I start in the morning, I forgot to install and pull, so I'm just like in front of my computer. I'm like, okay, let's
do you want to
run.
hit the trash bin in the upright, just to top right corner?
Yes. So we have a new agent, and nice. Now we can say hi to our agent, right? Do you want to give it a name?
Dudley.
How do you write this, Brad?
What's the name? What's the German name of like Harry Potter's stepbrother in the books?
Oh,
Dick?
No. I think we keep the same names. I think it's what's it called in English?
Dudley.
Dudley. Yeah, I think something very similar, but it's written differently, right? So
it is. That's fine. We'll go with Dudley.
Dudley, yeah.
Would you like me to remember that's my name?
Sure.
Okay. That's nice.
That's cool. And I think now we know that this agent has tools. I included a tool to call a random API about a number fact. Do you want to know anything about any number, Brad?
Ooh. Well, okay. Now, obvious. How about 77?
Let's see. But I think that's is already interesting for me because
Well, do you want to debug that? Was that on purpose? I feel like we should debug.
No, that was not on purpose. But I wanted to outline here the one thing with those things is that this could be also, if you can ask this question an LLM, right? So you can burn your credits on those questions, but you could also, like in this case, it has a tool to do that, but it's already hard to understand, is it using the tool or is it using the LLM for doing it, right? So I think sometimes it's nice. I think this is the first, I haven't seen the little ant here, but I think that's probably the first indication where you can see what's going on. And here you see actually it was a tool invocation, which is already nice.
Wait, so that's a tool invocation for the memory, right?
Oh yeah, but but it should have. Yeah, but
tool indication, yep.
Yeah, here as well.
Get number fact.
The number fact. And due to connection issues, okay.
Yep, it looks like the result here is error getting number fact, network connection lost.
That could be, well.
However, so this is kind of the how do I put this? This little debug thing comes in the Cloudflare Agents Starter template anyways, and it's just showing you kind of the raw output of some of the messages that the LLM is sending. If we wanted to dig into this in another interface, we could go to /fp.
Yes. But I think this is already a okay starting point, but it can be a little bit better. Oh, there's our small chat.
All right, so this is the Fiberplane version of a debugger for the Agents Framework. And it's going to include some extra bells and whistles. So like we did see, I didn't call it out specifically, but in that kind of JSON view of the messages previously, we saw an instance where it called a memory tool when we asked it to remember its name. And if you kind of scroll up, you can see that would be stored in the state tab. So right there, we have this concept of memories, and that's where it called a tool to be able to store the fact that its name is Dodley. And so that's kind of insight into a little bit of what's happening under the hood for the agent. So what's it remembering? It's remembering that persists.
And then do we have more information on the messages here? Or yeah, so if we go to this get number thing.
And this is where we will see something similar to what we saw in the UI. Granted, when the message is JSON, we should totally render this as JSON. So that's a good thing to
keep in mind.
Yeah. And again, we do see that there was a tool indication where the network connection was lost. I'm not sure. Do we have any events related to this? Perhaps at the top?
Yes, let's see.
No.
No, not really. This is also weird. Is that my browser that there is?
I think it's things are just kind of smushed. So if you decrease the width of some of the other stuff, it should.
Oh yeah, I was zoomed in. Okay, yeah.
So I think events will fire, for example, if you like schedule the agent to do something, then you kind of get this like stream of what's happening as it's happening.
Let's do that. Let's schedule something for the agent, right?
Yeah.
Should we let it send an email? Can you send an email in 5 minutes to saying hi from...
You can even say hi from your name. See if it adds.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Look, it understood. It said hi from Dudley.
Nice, cool. And now if we go to FP again, sorry, I should have completely kept 2 tabs open. We see here actually it has a fixed delay, and it will be executed at 8:18, so in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. So we can wait that out. We'll see what happens in 5 minutes. See if you can. Yeah. I think maybe we show like one more tool use, and then we maybe show a little bit of at the very least, like how to set this thing up in the more general case, in case someone wants to add it to their own app. So one thing that I got confused by when I was toying at this is that the screen at the beginning says you can ask for the time in any given location. So if you're in San Francisco right now, if you could ask what the time is in Amsterdam, and I can tell you if you're wrong. Not you, the agent. It'll tell you if the agent is wrong.
I mean, the current time is not 10 a.m. I would say then we would have only almost like a 1 hour and 45 time difference. That cannot be true.
It's definitely not true. So go ahead and tell Dodley that Dodley is wrong.
You are wrong, my friend.
It's good to be polite. You never know when that'll come back and help us. It's definitely incorrect. Try again. Try harder. Not you. Sorry, I'm talking to Dodley. I know Dodley can't hear me, but Oh, 515 is correct.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Now, the reason I like this, and this will give us an excuse to look at the code in a little bit. If we go to the playground, which is actually how I ended up debugging this, because I was very confused, we can look at our messages. And then we can look at this series of messages and like kind of what happened under the hood.
So it's a tool call, basically.
Yep. And if we look at the message details, we can see there was a tool invocation, and it called the tool get local time with the argument Amsterdam. That's all correct. And the result was 10 a.m. So we know it used its tool, and we know that that was wrong. And then if we look at the messages where we tell it it's incorrect, can we see if it still called a tool or not? Well, that's our message right there.
That's our message. Sorry, yeah.
And it looks like, yeah. So we do see it double checked by calling the tool again.
And then we get again the 10 a.m. So it's somewhere hard coded, I assume, that we always get back at 10 a.m.
Well, yeah. Then I'm curious what actually happens in the next one where we tell it like, no, that's wrong.
This one here.
Yeah. So if we go into message details, I just want to make sure. So we have, let's see here. Thank you for pointing that out.
We have no tool invocation at least, right? So it doesn't give the tool here.
All right. So I'm guessing it's somehow like the LLM provider, which I think is OpenAI in this case, probably does add the current time to the prompt. Because it without doing the tool invocation, it did the math of like, okay, I know the current time is, blah, and then Amsterdam it's daylight savings. I don't know. It has to know the current date and time in order to calculate that. So, yeah, I think that was kind of interesting for me because I was like, okay, it tells me the correct time when we don't use the tool invocation. So then I went to look at the code of where is this tool invocation.
Somewhere in the tool TS.
Yeah. And
deep down tool TS.
The thing is, we also know the name of this because it tells us. But yeah, it was get local time.
Get local time, yeah, that's what I remember as well.
And it looks like 10 a.m. is hard coded. that was the issue.
Okay, but did it also happen for you that the LLM was not choosing the tool anymore after you told it 2 times it's wrong?
I was a little bit more unfriendly when I told it was wrong, so it did not use the tool.
Okay.
I was pretty adamant that it was very, very wrong. So yeah, I don't know. That's like partially contrived, partially realistic debugging session of when you're trying to figure out like, okay, what actually happened here when we were asking the agent to do something. And that I don't know how much we want to show of the agent itself. I guess, okay, maybe a little interlude here, because we talked at first about the Agents SDK when it came out, but we had not yet talked about durable objects. And the Agents SDK is built on top of durable objects. And why? So a little recap on the last stream. Durable objects are like lovely little containers of state where anyone interacting with them cannot directly modify their state. They have to ask to modify it, and then the durable object decides what to do with that request. They can be long running, just like an agent. So they map very well to this use case of kind of just like this chat session that keeps going and remembers things, which is basically state. Remembers things. It can update its memories. It can call tools. So yeah, that's a little bit of like how a durable object relates to this. And obviously because you can establish a WebSocket connection to a durable object, you can get these progressive updates as it's thinking or choosing tools or producing a response. So that's a little interlude on how this relates to our last episode. I think to look at the code, if we looked at that server TS, so you can follow the observed. So like, yeah, we're importing two things from Fiberplane / agents, the observed decorator, and then a Fiberplane helper. The observed decorator goes above the agent declaration, which is a class, just like what we saw with durable objects. You extend the durable object class under the hood here. That AI chat agent is extending an AI agent class, which is extending a party server class, which is extending a durable object.
That's a long extending row, but yeah.
It is. But at the end of the day, it is just a durable object with some extra bells and whistles. So you can think of this as, this chat class as a durable object class. And to confirm that, so we're exporting that chat class. If you go to the Wrangler, are we using Wrangler JSON or Wrangler Tom? Wrangler JSON.
JSON.
So we have
the binding for the durable object.
So this is the same thing we saw setting up a durable object last week, where we give the name of the class and then the name that we want to refer to it by, which in this case is the same. It's called chat. And then that's properly exposed to our application, and the Cloudflare runtime knows that, like, hey, this is durable object, and I will treat it as such. Other important thing here is under migrations. So again, this is I don't feel like this is super straightforward the first time you look at it, but luckily you just need to configure it once and then you're pretty much done. These migrations set up the chat agent durable object to use SQLite as its storage mechanism under the hood. So remember, durable objects have state, they remember things, they persist things. In this case, the way that they do that is going to be SQLite. SQLite database. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a necessary explanation of a little bit of the magic that's happening here. Otherwise,
we could look if the email was sent by now, I think. I feel.
No, you're right. I talked for long enough. So we can look in, we can also see if the scheduled task is still there in the Fiberplane UI.
Should be gone.
It's gone. Look at all those events.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow. Oh, those events came from earlier with some of our chat messages. But I think the most recent one at the top.
Did come something from the number? No, probably not.
No, so I think it's going to be the top one.
This one?
Yeah. Okay. No, it's probably in our UI as well. I think it came back and sent a message.
Nice.
And you can check your email if you want. Oh, the suspense. I hope it's not in the junk folder. Oh, New York Times Cooking.
It is opening my private emails. There it is.
Woo!
Nice.
Cool. And maybe, should we show how that's wired up? I feel like that's kind of a relevant thing. We haven't done a lot of like showing how it's built.
How it's built, like also again in the tools.
Yeah.
If you go to the tools here, I think that is something that Mies coded in, if I'm not wrong. Store memory.
Store memory is a good one. Retrieve memory is a good one.
List memory, but where's send email?
Well, you could search for send email. I think we know that's the.
I don't know if that is the. Well, it's using resend.
Boom. Send email. So you might, if you could you expand the screen just so we see a little bit more? And you can also Command B to hide the sidebar.
Yeah.
Okay, so this tool, basically this is from the Vercel AI SDK, and it's a way of kind of keeping type safety while you make tool definitions. And that way you can pass it later as a tool to an LLM when you make your call to the LLM. And so we have the description of the tool, the parameters that it expects, and then we have this special thing called execute. So when you make a tool call with an LLM, what that actually means is that the LLM will tell you how it would theoretically call a tool, but it doesn't actually have the tool. So you're left up. So it'll tell you like these are the data. In this case, it's the to, subject, first name, message. And we have this execute function, which actually handles sending the email. And that's just going to use resend.
Yes, and I think if that's part of the agent, right? If you miss one of those parameters, it's also asking you, can you please specify who to send to and things like that. So
yeah. And likewise, that kind of result of execute is what's going to show up in the UI in the Fiberplane Agents Playground once the tool is executed. So we see the name of the tool, which where is the name of the tool, by the way? Or is it just inferred? No, the name of the tool is...
is it not send email?
Yeah, but it's when you attach it to the LLM, you name it, I believe. So
is it on the... Where do you attach it to the LLM? Is it on the bottom?
We'll check if you command click that send email, you should find the references.
Here, yeah.
So it's tools, and those tools are the ones that are attached to the LLM call. So you can command click tools, and hopefully that would take you to server.ts.
It didn't. Where?
You see it? No, it was there. It was there. Command click, and then in that sidebar, you see server.ts, and then I would go to, yeah, one of those two, the second line or the third line. And you can maybe double click and it'll open the file. There. So this is back in server.ts. When we actually run the agent to respond to a message, we're attaching all of these tools to that LLM call that processes the message, and then the LLM is responsible for choosing the right tool for the job. And then, also, I guess, lots of stuff to explain. This max steps here is kind of critical because it allows the LLM to functionally send multiple messages. And so like the idea of steps is that like the LLM can first take the user's message and craft a response. That response might include a tool call, and then as well as some text. So it might be like, okay, I'm going to call the number lookup tool, and then after that it returns the like data that it wants that tool to be called with. Only after that is our execute function called, and then once the execute function is called, if we have this max steps, it will feed the result of that back into the LLM until the LLM has kind of decided, okay, I can stop. I have a sufficient response. So.
Okay, cool. I mean, I think there's also a spoiler in the tool that I saw that we can maybe take on for next episode. If I go back, I see something very interesting here. It's called the MCP server tool. But maybe that's just a spoiler that we can already give to people, that we included a tool that your agent can attach MCP server and potentially can also use some of the tools then.
Oh, wow. Indeed. Yeah, I had some fun playing with that today. And I think by next week we'll have a bit more to show in terms of cool integrations you can just get going like that. I think also as a parting note, just like we didn't see a lot of Honc code today.
That's true.
And
have we seen any? Like I don't think we have seen any Honc code. Brad, you said we have not seen a lot, but I don't think that we have seen any at the moment.
So I think the critical thing to point out here is that there is a piece of there's a helper function I think we saw a couple of weeks ago that the Agents SDK exposes for doing this like Honc routing within a Honc application to the correct agent for incoming requests. And but that's kind of optional, right? So you can just write a standard Cloudflare worker that attaches or that handles requests going into the agent. But for a if you want to mix your agent into a data API, which a lot of people would, then you would probably be reaching for Honc for the data layer, or Honc, right here. And then you could use the Agents SDK for some additional goodies on top of using durable objects inside Honc or Honc.
Yes, I just came back to the StreamYard thing and see that Christian said hi all, and I think that's nice. So I wanted to say hi.
Hey, Christian. Sorry, we missed that. I had the wrong tab open for comments.
But yeah, with a hi and a goodbye, we could leave this and talk more about agents and MCPs at one point, and then also come back to more Honc.
Yeah, I think I really want to maybe craft next week so that relates a bit more to the Honc ecosystem, the Honc cinematic universe. Just because like I said, in the wild, in practice, these things will likely be embedded within data APIs. So yeah.
Yes, I think an agent should not. Well, I mean, there might be agents that stand alone, but probably an agent doesn't come alone, so it has an application to connect with. So yeah. Makes sense.
Cool.
Let's call it a stream.
Let's